This is Lady Myya. Hello, you guys. I am back. Okay, so I have a guest. Her name is Kristen Owens. Okay, and so what I want to find out about her because she is a holistic nutritionist, and I got questions, and I'm pretty sure you do too, because you're like, what? And some people already know what that is, but you know what? We're going to get more information, and we're going to get it for, the toddlers situations right here going on, because, right now I feel like I don't really know everything, but I want to know. So, definitely we are going to talk to her and see what it is about her business and what she does that would actually benefit us and as people and people that want to keep healthy and stay alive longer. Yay! You guys, please welcome my Mayan tribe. Please welcome Kristen Owens.
Awesome. Thank you, Myya, so much for having me. I'm grateful to be here. I love to share my knowledge that as I mentioned to you before we started recording, that I've been in the industry for 26 years. So I live this stuff, and so I just want to share with other people how they can really upgrade their wellness and
Right.
take their life to another level. Because honestly, it always comes back to your health and how you are doing your health. So,
Right. No,
yeah.
I understand completely. Okay, so I got questions.
Mhm.
My question is this. What made you even get into something like this? A holistic, what is it?
Nutrition. Holistic.
Nutritionist.
Yeah.
That's that's a hard pill to swallow. Pun intended.
So how did I get in? How did I get in? Well, it goes back 26 years. So I have always been active. I started out, I'm going way back here. So I started out as a figure skater. Once I quit figure skating in high school, I grew up in a relatively healthy household. My mom, didn't want us eating sugar and wanted to eat more vegetables, the stuff everyone knows.
Yeah.
And I had sugar cravings. I was the sugar queen. And so, my girlfriends would get together in high school and we were not making salads. We were making cakes and brownies and these kind of things. And then we would eat it all. But then we would go to the gym and we would work out like crazy, which I don't agree that's the best way to do it. Eat tons of, foods that are actually going to lead you down more of the disease trail because what it does in our body. But then say we're going to exercise to get rid of it all, because it's not just about, I didn't know this at the time, but what I teach women and really humans now is that it's not just about the weight. It's not just about eating, foods that are not, good for us, right? The sugar,
Mhm.
the cookies, and all the things that we love. It's
Right.
not eating that and going and exercising it off. It's what is that doing inside your body, and how is that setting you up for disease to thrive in
Right.
your body? Because disease is not, it's not inevitable if you have a lifestyle that is set up so that your immune system is working well, so that you have happy managed weight, right? Because women are so focused on the scale. It's about developing a better relationship with food. It's about really looking at health as and the food we're eating as, how can this make me better and give me energy? So once I started, once I quit skating, I then started teaching fitness classes to my friends in the basement of their houses. And they're like, oh, Kristen, you should be an instructor. And this was back in, for those of you that are in, the age group where you remember the 20-minute workout. I love the workout, right? With the leg warmers and the thong. And anyways, so that's what I did.
Bodysuits. Yeah.
Yeah. So at 20 years old, back in the day, I'm in from Canada. So back in the day, it was the YMCA. I went and got my fitness instructor certification and I started teaching fitness classes. And then I went to school for like fitness and health promotion, kinesiology, that kind of thing. And then from there, I started managing fitness facilities for corporate facilities in like McDonald's head office, Procter and Gamble. I managed their facilities in Toronto. And so then I had children. See, we're going way back here. Then I had children. I'm fast forwarding it as quick as I can go. Then I was 28 and I had my first daughter. And I remember, even before that, I remember just being exhausted. I remember my skin was horrible. I was in the health industry, so I thought, I thought it was healthy. I was bloated all the time. I didn't have energy. I remember 23 years old going to the doctor and asking, why do I feel like I was crashing at 6 o'clock at night, like out cold. And I thought, this is not normal, right? I was managing the facility, but then I was teaching a Pilates business around the GTA. And I thought, this is not normal. And I went to the doctor and the doctor told me to drink orange juice. And I thought to myself, orange juice? Like, is that all that's all you're going to ask me or test you're going to do? And so I left the office and I said to myself, that I guess I have to take my health into my own hands. I have to own my health. And that's essentially what I teach now, is helping you own your own health. And so from there, that opened a door. I made a decision to really explore more. And when you make a decision to change something or to be something different or reinvent yourself, whatever it might be, talking about health here, to do something different to actually achieve your goals of releasing weight, having more energy, aging well, whatever it is, you watch the doors open up. You will start to meet people. Like, you'll come to this podcast and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm hearing somebody that is talking my language, is speaking to the pain points I have, right? So anyway, so from there, I ended up having my first daughter. She's going to be 18 in January. And I knew that I was always a very unconventional way of thinking anyways, but I didn't do anything that everybody else was doing. I was paving my own path. And so from there, I started to explore, why was I having these breakouts? Like, it was so painful on my face. And there's a lot of women out there listening that have experienced skin issues. And it affects your confidence, whether it's bloating and you wake up in the morning with a flat belly, you feel flat, that feeling, you feel flat. And then by the end of the day, you're like, man, I feel like I just went up 2 inches. That's what I was experiencing, not to mention the fatigue. And the sugar cravings continued to go on from high school. And so from there, I ended up going to school for holistic nutrition. And that's how I became what I am today. And that was 15 years ago. I since had 2 more kids from that point. And so now really what I do is, and as a holistic nutritionist, really what we do is, it's not, people think about nutrition and they think food. And yes, it is about food. It's about the quality of food that we put in our body. It's about making the right decisions as to, and understanding that the food that we're eating is fuel for our body. Hippocrates once said, let food be thy medicine, medicine be thy food. So I look at what I'm choosing to eat, what I'm choosing to put in my body, is that going to take me closer to being healthier, or is it going to take me further away? So it's the questions we ask ourselves, right? If we ask ourselves good questions, we're going to get great answers. And so now what I do, and throughout the years, the last 15 years, I've studied herbal medicine. I've studied more in depth in minerals and detox. One of the things that I teach in my community is all about detoxification and the importance of that. I talk about, whole food, plant-based. Doesn't mean you can't eat meat, but more plants. I talk about, all these different pieces, stress management, and how they all come together as these puzzle pieces, and how, as we are starting to create better habits in our everyday and take action on those small steps, that, if you've ever heard of the compound effect, when you're taking those small steps, drinking water, say, I don't know, 3 liters a day, you're making an intention, you're setting that intention, and you're just doing it. Do you notice a change in 2 days? Well, you probably will, but do you notice a change in, it's like eating that burger. If you ate a burger once a month, are you going to see changes quickly? Probably not. If you ate a burger every single day, by probably 2-3 months, you're going to notice a difference in your energy and how you feel and how you sleep and how your clothes fit. So it's that compound effect. The daily simple things we are doing every single day, compounded over time, creates a whole new person. So that's really, in a nutshell, and as simplified as I could make it, is in terms of how I got to what I'm doing today. But I have a greater passion today. Back 15 years ago, people were like, even in Canada here, a holistic what? Like a holistic, because and a lot of people don't realize holistic is looking at the whole person. We are not
Yeah.
created as just physical beings. We are spiritual beings. We have emotions. So we have to look at, when we talk about health, it's not just about eating well. It's also about mentally, where's your mindset, right? Because mindset's everything. It's about your spiritual, like spiritually, where are you at? So it's taking all the pieces, looking at the whole person so that you can really either heal from whatever you're dealing with right now, because your body was created to heal itself. Nothing heals you, you heal yourself. And
Right.
it's also about really just focusing on, growing older and not falling into the statistics of what we see the aging population falls into, right? We don't have to, that doesn't have to be our destiny.
Right.
So anyway, so that's kind of what I teach my community, is how you can age well.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah.
No, I understand completely. Well, you know what? I mean, given that what you said in regards to, the holistics and what we eat and different things like that, I understand that. A lot of times, like, okay, I like vegetables. I love
Ooh,
vegetables. Like, vegetables are my best friend. Especially the
wow.
greener, the better. Like, I'm good.
Awesome.
And so, of course, my husband's like a total carnivore. Like, it's must
Yes.
be me. It must be. And so, I mean, understandably so, what are you finding, when you initially meet a person
Yeah.
and they're coming to you in regards to what you do? What do you find as the most common questions that you get from them?
So, good question. I would say the top things that I hear women asking, or the reason why women are coming to me, because it's different for everybody, but I would say my niche group are women that are, well, firstly, they're actually putting everyone else's needs before their own, right? Because women do that. And we
Yeah.
have to really learn how, a point on that is we have to learn how to set boundaries, and we have to learn how, and that's a hard one in itself, but they're, number one is they're putting everyone else's needs before their own. Number two, they're coming to me because they've tried all the diets. Because how many women do we know that want to release weight, right? They want to release weight. There's usually 5, 10, 15, 20 pounds, but they're coming to me usually within that kind of range. But they're like, I don't want to do diets. I understand why lifestyle is key, because diets don't work, right? Newsflash. Everyone knows that, but everyone keeps doing it. So we have to look at lifestyle. And and the other thing is that energy. I can't tell you how many women talk about energy and the lack of energy, right? Energy. Oh my, I'm tired and I don't sleep so well. And, it's this vicious circle
Right.
and that goes on and on. And then the third thing that women come to me for is, their hormones are out of whack. They're like, oh yeah, that must be why I'm craving. And hormones regulate everything within our body. So
Mm.
the fact that, so those are the top three things, but the fact that, and sugar cravings, carb cravings are in there as well, but all of that goes along with what's going on in our hormones, the stress
Mhm.
levels that we're carrying. So women understand that they are, well, some do, some don't understand that they have stress, but a lot of people think that they're handling it really well. But what people don't realize is that our body is designed to handle stress, right? So stress, there's good stress and there's bad stress. And, if you were out in the woods, for example, I was walking my dog with my family the other day, or maybe it was my husband and one of my kids, and we saw a coyote. And when you see a coyote in the daytime, that's not normal, right? And you're like, is that a dog? But it's not on a leash with another human. And so it was a coyote. So the first defense was, right? And that's
Mhm.
what's happening when we see something, a bear, a dog, a coyote, or we get into a car accident that's just kind of quick. It's not chronic. Our body knows how to deal with that. But the problem is, and especially it's no longer 6 months anymore, since last March, since the world was turned upside down, we are experiencing more stress than ever before. And living in North America, I don't know where your viewers are listening from, but
Everybody.
everywhere. So, but definitely North America, we live in a very fast-paced society, especially if we're in like metropolitan cities like Toronto, South Carolina. I'm assuming is, I don't know the population size, but you're in a big city. Big
Yeah.
city, we're go, 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 go. And what's happening is, especially when women are not, they're not setting those boundaries for their own self-care and what's important for them. They're making sure everyone else's needs are met. Plus, they are taking care of a family. Plus, they have a business. Plus, or they have like a profession or both. They're caring for aging parents, maybe. There's a lot of, plus the what's going on in the world. People are unsure. You don't know where you can go, what you can do. It's stress. And so physical, mental, emotional stress, all the different stressors, we're dealing with EMF technology that's stressing out our cells. We're dealing with crazy weather, you name it. The list can go on and on. But what's happening in our body, and this is what a lot of people don't realize because no one's taught this, is that when you get into a fender bender, when you see the dog that's chasing you down the road, or someone rear ends you, one of those quick acute stresses, the body deals with it. The problem is with all of this other stuff that I just talked about, this is creating chronic stress. If you're dealing with a health issue within your body, if you're tired all the time, that's stress on your body. If your hormones are out of whack, or you're not exercising enough, or exercising too much, it's stress. But the problem is that what's happening is that stress is being compacted and it's becoming chronic because now it's like it's a daily thing. What's happening is that is affecting symptoms in our body because we've all heard that stress kills, right? We've heard that many times. A lot of the doctors say, 70% of the reason why people come to the office is because of stress related symptoms. So I'm saying all that to say that when we have all of the stress and it's elevating cortisol within our body, we start our hormones are being thrown off. We're craving more. And then we crave sugar and carbs because it releases serotonin and we feel good. This is why you want to go for those carbs and sugar, because it's making you feel good. It's giving you that, right? It's creating weight around your waist. Typically women with weight around the right waist, men too, but women is usually who are complaining about this more so than men, is cortisol, throwing our blood sugar out of balance. And so what happens is our hormones are out of whack, and then it creates all of these symptoms that we're feeling. So what I always suggest is we have to start looking at how can we set those boundaries so that we can begin fueling ourselves, right? How can we begin to get to bed before 11 o'clock at night? Because did you know that every hour past 11 o'clock is like that you're missing of sleep is like missing 2 hours extra of sleep. So if you're going to bed at 1, it's like you're missing now 4 hours, right? So the sleep. So just even drinking more water is going to, when you're under stress, which we all are, as you heard, is we got to drink more water. We use up more vitamin C and more B vitamins when we're under stress. So some tips that I can give people that are watching on YouTube and listening by podcast is drink. You've heard the water thing before. We all know we have to drink more water, but really for real, we really do have to drink more water. And so just there, right? Just start somewhere is really important.
Well, it helps with the toxins. It helps us flush things out. It helps us be better and respond better because like I'm big on water. Like my water is like, yes, I'm on it. And but I like the water because, it's not all that sugar. It's not all that stuff that's just making my mouth feel dry. I feel replenished, now it's just like, okay, I'm ready for the next thing because, I feel like it's, the oxygen in the water just makes me complete. That's what this is my mindset, when I'm drinking my water. And I think, that too, it just kind of flushes out those toxins, especially, when you've eaten some stuff that dang well you was not supposed to be eating, and you might want to drink two more gallons of that water just to flush it out. But now you have to do so much just to get away from the things that made you feel good for now, but now it's just going to make you feel worse because now work to get it out
Yeah.
of your
Yeah.
system. And so I really, really appreciate that because a lot of us, we're so haphazardly doing things and we just don't think about it and we don't see the ramifications of it initially because this is things that we've always been used to, oh,
Yeah.
I've always been this size, I've never gone up or down, and when you get that just used to it,
Yeah.
you got to really assess. You got to really, really look at this thing again. Okay, how many burgers did I eat? Like you said, and everything like that. But put it down and get a carrot, get a celery stick that's
Yeah.
got water in it, so
Yeah.
that'll help you with your water intake. So
Yes.
no, I understand completely. No, is there any other holistics other than the food that you actually
So with
help?
me working with people,
Yeah, like,
yeah.
do you do, like, supplements or
So
anything like that?
So my programs are, I have different phases to my programs, but my first one is where I'm a specific, well, I mean, really, it comes down to lifestyle, right? So yes, the food
Right.
piece, looking at, blood work and food sensitivities. And, there's certain, when you get your blood work back, there are certain pieces that show up in your work that is showing foods that actually are not good for your system. So Lucretius said, one man's food is another man's poison. So here
Mm,
you are eating all the whatever it is, squash and bananas and whatever, and to find out that, oh my gosh, my body's sensitive to it, because that's going to create sensitivities, which creates inflammation, which creates gut problems. All health and all disease begin in our gut. So there's a lot of pieces that we have to look at, but that food
right.
piece is the one. We're doing a little bit of a detox, and then we're actually looking at specifically meal plans according to what your blood is, what comes back from the lab. Then
Okay.
from there, we do that for a period, and then we introduce foods back in, and then we get into the lifestyle portion. And that life, so people have already released weight, people are feeling more energy, their blood sugar is balanced because it goes back to insulin, insulin, insulin. Insulin is the fat burning, or the fat burning. It's definitely not the fat burning, the fat storing hormone. So
Mhm.
people's insulin levels are like, especially in North America, this is why we see such a high rate of diabetes. This is why we have Canada, US, such high rates of obesity. So
Mhm.
this is all related to inflammation. So yes, we start with that piece. And then these people now have gotten results. And now we're moving into, okay, let's now look at the lifestyle component, right?
Mhm.
Because the lifestyle component, when we're talking about just stress management, what's happening with the thyroid, what's happening with the adrenal glands, because the adrenal glands are what releases the cortisol, right? So we're
Mhm.
looking at mindset piece. So many times I'm getting in with, depending on the client, because when I'm doing one-on-one specifically, there's certain things that are coming up for the client that is actually more of a mindset issue and more of an emotional component. And so because of my background in ontological coaching and NLP and that sort of thing, what happens is I kind of get into that area, because a lot of the reasons why people aren't doing what they're doing, or they're not taking action, or they're not getting results as well, is because of that piece with mindset. They're sabotaging themselves and they don't even realize it. They, just like you said, what's happening is, oh, they have this belief that, well, you know what, I've never been able to lose weight. I've never been able to. I'm going to use weight because it's common everywhere. So I can never lose weight. I've tried all the diets, and what's happening is you're confirming the belief that you have that nothing's ever going to work for you because you've tried them all, right? And so why am I going to try another one when I know I'm going to fail? So you already
Mhm.
have this belief of failure, and not to mention, well, my family has a history of weight, right? I hear that all the time, my family. And I always say it doesn't matter. Just because maybe there's genes that are involved, because genes only, we know because of epigenetics, that genes only play a 5 to 10% role. So we'll say 10% role. The rest is lifestyle. And we don't want to get into that excuse, because trust me, we all as humans have excuses as to why health is hard work. I can even attest to this, like, because it's always we're going levels up, right? And I find that even I've made excuses as well, why I can't do something or why I can't do that. And I realize, oh, this is an excuse. Okay, so what am I going to do to shift it to move myself forward, right? So just because your family has that problem, or this has been in your family forever, we can't believe that that's the truth for us. Do we have to work harder in our mindset? Absolutely. But this is why when I work privately I have group programs and I have private, this is why women will work privately with me, and men too, is because they need that support, because they know humans, we are great starters, but we can suck at finishing.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, and I've done it as well. I find I used to do that more in business, not so much in the health thing, but how we do one thing is how we do everything. So we
Right.
have to look at how are we doing our health? Because your habits in around your health are going to impact your profession, your relationships, your business, whatever it is wherever we all have different pieces to our life.
Right.
Affect those places, right? So if you have entrepreneurs here, I'm sure you have professional people listening as well, because usually most people are working. You're busy and you're like, oh no, I'll do it later. But guess what people do is they do it. I've had this over the years. I've had clients come to me and they know that they need to take care of these issues, and they're like, oh, they didn't want to invest the time, they didn't want to invest the money. And guess what? Majority of them came back and said, and it was worse off. I even had one lady, she came back and she had cancer. And she said, I should have listened back then. But this is the thing, is that we either pay now. If we don't pay now, we will pay later. But I
Yeah.
don't want people waiting to the point where, because our world is very different nowadays, and I don't want people waiting. It's much easier to just start creating these healthy habits now to get
Mhm.
consistent, because disease thrives in an environment within your body that's acidic, and an environment where there's toxins. And so this is why I'm so passionate about detoxification, because when we can detoxify, like you were just talking about with the water is kind of one form of detoxification. Although our body was created to detox, we need to give it more help now because we are so overloaded. Like our grandparents, they were able to eat, because of our food nowadays, or even what they're breathing in. We take in more toxins in a day than what they did in an entire lifetime, just because of the air we're breathing, the water we're drinking, the food we're eating, and they're everywhere. The clothes we're putting on, the makeup we're putting on our face, body cream, all that stuff. So
Mhm.
we need to detoxify. So it's really important to just ensure that you're taking one step at a time, and making sure that your intentions are set, and knowing that when you wake up in the morning, you get up and you say, okay, this is my intention today, right from the get go, because how you start your morning dictates everything that will happen in your day, right?
Right.
I could go on and on and on, but I'm going to stop, let you talk.
Ooh, but you know what? You're right. You're right. It's the talk that we need to have and we need to hear,
Yeah.
and we kind of get so I think things gotten a lot more louder. And so now we're not even thinking about it for real. Like we're just like, okay, I'm gonna make this, pop this in the microwave, and I'm just gonna sit down because now the TV is loud, the kids are loud, the job is loud, everything else is going on, and you're like more so like, okay, I'm just gonna, this is entertainment for now. I'm just gonna keep doing this, and this is just gonna be my norm. And I haven't thought about, what I'm gonna do later when the salty treats don't necessarily like me, and I've gotten bigger, and now I've got a dent on the couch. What am I gonna do now?
Yep.
Like, yeah, so these things are set. Like we need to have those conversations and different things like that, and just makes people more
Yeah.
aware what they're doing, how they're saying, right? You know what? If you wrote down everything you ate for the day and
Mhm.
saw what you eat, I think you would not be happy with yourself.
Yeah. You are so right.
And come and put it together as
Yeah.
far as the whole week. Oh my goodness, you'd be like, okay, so I'm not shopping half of this stuff when I go food shopping
Yeah.
because that's not good. And for me to have it on the page repeatedly, I need to make a change.
Yep.
Something has to change. Okay, I got to get something out the grocery aisle. I can't go to the snack aisle now. Sometimes they push the snack aisle to the front, but
Mhm.
darn well that ain't supposed to be. And I think I only drink so much water because I my coffee is about that
Oh,
big.
big one.
It's so huge.
The big one.
And so it's like a almost 30-ounce cup. So I'm like, yeah, I need to drink a lot more
Yeah.
water.
Yeah. You know how much, Myya, is you need? So if it's this big, you need to drink 2 of these of
Mhm.
water afterwards.
Oh
2
yeah.
of
I got 4 of these bottles sitting in my desk now.
guzzle, guzzle.
Right in between.
Yeah.
Throw it back. Okay, so if there's anything that you would love to tell my Mayan tribe, please, you have the floor, dear.
Awesome. So, you know what? I want to share, since we just talked about detoxification, we've talked about food, um, and really it's about those small habits and women, men, not because another thing that people say, well, is I need just a plan to follow to get me started. And although I like to educate people, and that's what I do in my programs, is educate them how you go shopping, educate them on, what are the healthy fats, what are the best proteins, what are um, the right carbohydrates, because carbohydrates are not bad, even though many of you listening have been told and heard that they are bad. It's the right carbohydrates. Your brain needs carbs. Okay. So it's about being educated. When you are educated, you do better and you make better decisions. And so that's a piece of it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually offer it's called the 4-day cleanse jump start. And basically, really all it is, like I have a detox membership, and right now, actually, we're doing a 2-week fall detox. So we have them seasonally, and this is our fall one. And so this is something that I really promote so much. And for some people, they hear the word cleanse or detox, and they're like, oh my gosh, they're scared because they don't know what it is. And this is just food. It's about learning how to eat clean. If you want to eat meat, that's fine. I teach a lot of plant-based, but people don't have to be plant-based in the sense of, if they don't want to give up meat, if they're not ready to give up meat, that's okay. We still need to eat a lot of vegetables, because what I found in North America, we tend to go to the dairy, we go to the carbs like bread type foods, we go to meat protein. And so meat, carbs, a lot of refined carbs, and because people don't know the difference many times, we go to that. But all of that is creating acidity in our body. And so disease thrives in an acidic environment. So I'm offering this 4-day cleanse, and it's really simple. I want people to understand that this is something that is really, it's how we look at things, right? It is a gift to you and for your body. And it's taking this 4-day cleanse, which has shopping lists, it has the meal plans laid out there for you. So for breakfast, this is what you do. For lunch, and here's the recipe. For lunch, this is what you do. Here's the recipe. So it's all these recipes. They're delicious, and you just have to follow it. And even if you just say, well, you know what, I'm not quite ready with breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Let's just start with I'm going to do the breakfast, right? Because breakfast, I mean, we can go on and on about now. Breakfast is really, there's intermittent fasting, there's eating breakfast, there's all different philosophies, which I'm not against intermittent fasting. However, I don't know people who are listening. I don't know where they're at. So I want them, most people are just getting coffee and a donut, or coffee and something else, or they're not eating at all. And we don't want to do intermittent fasting unless we're doing it properly. So you go to this, and you just go to the 4 days of whatever the breakfasts are, and you just do the breakfast, and you do the rest of your day as you do. Because what you do in the morning is going to set you up for what you're craving or not craving at the end of the day. So this is going to this is like something very similar to what I would do in one of my detoxes. And so I'm just giving that to everybody as a gift. And if anyone is interested in there, you'll see my contact information. If anyone is interested in more support, more help, I have a Facebook group, Making Health a Habit with Kristen Owens. you're more than happy, because you know what? I think the biggest thing is I understand I'm more successful. I have a business coach. I'm more successful when I have somebody that's guiding me, right? Just like we need to have coaches in all different areas of our lives, and health is not an exception to that. So if anyone needs that support, reach out, right? Because I really believe that now is the time. It's not tomorrow. It's not Monday, right? We hear that, oh, I'll start Monday. I'll start Monday. We want to start today, because if we keep pushing it off, especially in the time of world we're living in, if that makes sense, we need to support our immune systems. And I can tell you that doing this is going to support your immune system. It's going to help balance your hormones, which is a huge issue among women of all ages now. And it's going to give you more energy. It's going to help your gut health, which is very important. And it's going to help to alkalize your body. It's touching all the different areas. And it's going to help your mental health, because if you're feeding your body with the right food, this is going to impact your brain, because your actually gut has my gosh, more neurotransmitters. I don't know how many. It's a crazy amount of neurotransmitters, more than your brain. So if your gut isn't working well, you are not going to be thinking clearly. You're not going to have energy. You need to be optimistic, especially in this time that we're living in. You need to take care of yourself. It is a priority, and I can't stress that enough.
No, that is absolutely, it's understandable, and we appreciate that. So how can my viewers and listeners contact you?
Yeah, so Facebook, I'm under Kristen, well, my name right here, Kristen Owens. That's my Facebook business page. But on that page is my Facebook group that you can also link to as well, because my personal page is Kristen for sure Owens. So that's easier to spell. I'm on Instagram as Kristen Owens Wellness, and on YouTube as well, Kristen Owens. And where else am I? I'm on LinkedIn, but don't find me there yet, because I haven't really got my groundings there yet. So Facebook, and Instagram, and YouTube are my 3 areas. Yeah.
Yes, no, I understand completely. Well, you guys, hey, you got to be more aware about what you're doing, what you're eating. Be more aware about that. Now, I'm a little bit more aware than most people.
Yeah.
But I understand, like, I still need to exercise. I still need to walk. I still need to, do something. I can't be confined to my desk all the time. And I'm going to try my best, y'all.
And
hopefully.
Did you know that sitting is actually now the new smoking?
Really?
Yeah. So what smoking did to people, or I guess it still does, but now it's no longer the smoking thing. Although yes, it's still a smoking thing, but now it's like, remember when it was a huge thing? Now it's all about sitting is the new, I think is it the WHO that actually said that? I can't remember what organization, but if you think about how much we're sitting, it really is destroying our health. So we need to move. That's another piece I talk about. I'm a yoga Pilates teacher, and as you know, my fitness background, and it's all about, like, my YouTube channels have yoga videos and Pilates videos, so you want to do those. It's all about moving your body. Yeah. Right. So Myya, you're right, for sure.
Woohoo! I'm just gonna keep going. I am. All right, you guys. I love you so much, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me once again. Yes, you know what? We're going to be more aware. We have to. This is the time. You are here right now for a reason. So we appreciate you guys so much. And thank you so much, Kristen. I mean, I really appreciate your time, your effort, and your energies, dear, because I know you got all the carbs this morning, and I appreciate that.
Carbs.
Well, you guys, we will see you guys later.